The sun rises over the endless savanna, its light spilling across a restless band of Australopithecus already in motion. The ground trembles faintly as herds of antelope surge in the distance, while closer, a scattered group of predators circle waiting for weakness. These early humans are not wandering aimlessly. They are leaving behind the place where generations have lived, where food has thinned, and water holes have turned to cracked earth. The first migration is not born of choice, but of survival, a march into the unknown. Their bare feet press into dry soil, each step an echo of desperation, carrying infants bound to the bodies of their mothers, with fibers torn from reeds carrying crude stone flakes, sharpened to cut roots or skin the remains of a kill. The air smells of dust and fear, yet also of determination. For the tribe knows that motion is life, and stillness is death. Hunger pushes them forward, but hunger is not their only enemy. Overhead, dark clouds gather a storm, unlike the brief showers they know. Wind screams across the plain, bending tall grasses and snapping branches. The tribe tightens together, elders dragging children beneath the partial shelter of a rocky outcrop. The storm unleashes its fury. Lightning spears the sky, thunder shakes their bones, and rain lashes down in sheets, turning the soil to sucking mud. One mother nearly loses grip of her infant as a sudden torrent rushes past, but strong arms seize her in time. They cling to each other, forming a living wall against the chaos of the storm. When it passes, the landscape is changed, streams cut new paths across the savanna, and carcasses of smaller animals lie drowned in muddy pools. For the tribe, it is both devastation and opportunity. The survivors drag the wet carcasses into a circle, stone flakes, carving into flesh, fingers tearing sinew, their hunger dulled for now. Yet, as they eat, shadowed eyes watch them from the distance, hyenas drawn by the smell of blood. Their guttural laughter cuts through the heavy air, and the tribe stiffens. A standoff begins. The scavengers circling closer, yellow eyes flashing, jaws snapping. The Australopithecus grip their primitive stones, some brandishing sticks, still burning faintly from lightning-scorched wood. They shout in unison, not with words, but with rhythm, stamping the ground, flaring their silhouettes. The hyenas lunge and retreat, testing, until a thrown stone smashes against one's muzzle, sending it yelping away. The others scatter, unwilling to fight prey that stands together. Victory is fragile, but it binds the group tighter. They have defended their meal, and with it, the will to continue forward. As the savanna stretches endlessly before them, the tribe presses on. They march not toward certainty, but toward possibility, each step carrying them farther than their ancestors ever dared into landscapes untamed and dangers unknown. This is the first migration, the leap from one fragile cradle of survival into another, carved not by choice, but by the merciless hand of nature. Yet in their resilience lies the spark of legend, a story that will echo for millions of years. The band moves steadily across the open savanna, their bodies slick with sweat, their breaths short and shallow. The land stretches endless, broken only by thorn trees and shimmering mirages of water that vanish when approached. The children stumble, and the elders press onward, each step an act of willpower. Hunger gnaws at their bellies once again. They follow the scent of a distant river, their keen eyes spotting vultures wheeling above, an omen of both danger and sustenance. When they reach the riverbank, the sight both terrifies and tempts them. The carcass of a wildebeest lies half-submerged, claimed by crocodiles who linger just beneath the surface. The tribe huddles in silence, eyes darting between the water and the shoreline. They know the beast is food, Yet they also know the snapping jaws that guard it. Risk and reward collide. The young males inch forward, brandishing sharpened sticks hardened by fire, while others gather stones from the shore. The crocodiles lunge, jaws clashing waves, breaking against the mud. Shouts and thrown stones rain down, creating confusion. In that fleeting moment, two of the braver ones dart in, hacking with their stone flakes, ripping away strips of meat before retreating in panic. The air fills with snarls, splashes, and the triumphant cries of those who escape with food clutched in their hands. It is a victory not without cost. One elder slips in the mud, barely escaping a set of teeth that snap shut, a hair's breadth from his leg. The group retreats to higher ground, bloodied meat dripping in their hands, the taste of survival purchased by terror. As night falls, the tribe clusters together in a circle, the pieces of meat shared evenly, even with the weakest. Fire smolders from lightning-charred branches. They carried its glow, casting shadows that flicker against the rocks. The flames keep predators at bay, but they also illuminate the weary faces of the band faces, marked by determination and something new vision. Beyond the fear, beyond the exhaustion, there is an instinct whispering that further lands lie ahead, richer, safer, more abundant. Yet the path to them will demand more trials. Their rest is short-lived. In the dead of night, a roar splits the silence, a lion drawn by the scent of blood. The tribe stiffens, eyes wide, gripping their sticks and stones. The beast emerges, golden eyes, gleaming mane, bristling like fire. It circles, searching for weakness, each step heavy with power. The tribe responds with unity, stamping their feet, raising their arms, shouting in guttural rhythm. But the lion does not yield. It charges. The impact is chaos dust, flying sticks, jabbing stones, cracking bone. One hunter hurls a flaming branch that bursts sparks against the lion's face. The beast reels back snarling, then bolts into the night, its roar echoing long after its shadow vanishes. Breathless, trembling, the tribe remains clutching each other. Terror has tested them, again and again they have endured. Dawn breaks over a shaken but unbroken band. Ahead lies the endless horizon, promising both danger and discovery. The first migration has only just begun. The savanna gives way to scattered woodlands, shadows stretching long as the band enters unfamiliar terrain. The air hums with insects, and the trees offer both shelter and new threats. For the Australopithecus, this is not home. It is an alien world where every step must be judged. The ground softens underfoot, and streams crisscross the forest floor, demanding careful crossings. Children ride on the hips of their mothers, their eyes wide at the canopy above, where branches sway with the movements of unseen creatures. Their senses sharpen, attuned to every rustle. Hunger returns, but here, food is different. The females pluck fruits from branches, testing them with cautious bites. Bitter ones are spat out, while sweet ones are passed eagerly among the young. Roots are dug from damp soil with sharpened sticks, their fibers chewed for sustenance. One elder, limping from an earlier injury, finds leaves that soothe his wound, pressing them against the swollen flesh. Knowledge is survival, carried not in words but in gestures, and memory passed from one generation's hands to the next. Yet the woodland holds its own danger. A rival band emerges from the shadows, their silhouettes framed against the trees. Another group of Australopithecus, lean, scarred, and just as desperate. At first, there is stillness, both bands locked in a tense standoff. The air vibrates with unspoken challenge. Stones are raised, sticks brandished. A scream cuts through the silence, raw and primal, and the clash begins. They rush at one another, a storm of limbs and weapons dust and leaves flying. The struggle is brutal, not of armies but of survival, each strike fueled by hunger and fear. Blood spills, cries echo, and for a moment it seems as if both groups will destroy each other. But then, as suddenly as it began, one band falters and breaks away, retreating into the trees, leaving behind silence, broken only by ragged breaths. The victors do not celebrate. They tend to the wounded, binding cuts with strips of bark, sharing the little food they salvaged. The cost of survival is heavy, yet it binds them closer. As twilight settles, the band gathers on a hill overlooking the distant plains. Below them, herds move like shadows across the land. Rivers glisten like silver threads, and beyond the horizon burns with the fire of the setting sun. For the first time, there is not only fear, but wonder. The migration is no longer just an escape from death. It has become a journey towards something greater. The band sits together, sharing the last scraps of fruit, and meet their bodies leaning into one another. Infants curl against their mothers, the wounded rest under watchful eyes, and the fire's glow paints them in warmth. In this fragile circle, hope is born. The first migration has carved scars into their bodies and souls, but it has also forged resilience, unity, and vision. From this march into the unknown will rise a legacy carried through countless generations, the will of humanity to move, to endure, and to dream.